Welcome. Welcome to the Law, Your Money, and You. Welcome, everybody. This is a wonderful, wonderful day. We're getting out of the pandemic. We have a wonderful show for you. This is so exciting. I'm Roberta, Saphire, an attorney in Sharon. And
I'm Camille, Barron. I am not an attorney in Sharon. I am a healthcare advisor in Sharon and a financial coordinator in Sharon. And we have two young men who we have known for quite a while, very interested in financial literacy, and they're going to tell us about what they're doing for other people around their age group.
yeah, the Law, Your Money, and You has sponsored them, and they have worked with us for several years. And Sammy, raise your hand so they can see you. Sammy's older brother also started with us, I don't know, 4 years ago or even more, and he's now he's now a junior. And is he in pre-med or something like that? Or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we did it. And these two boys, I'm going to let you tell them, because what they're doing is just beyond what anybody else has done. They are beyond. So let's start with you, Sammy, and then go over to Aidan. And both of you tell us about yourselves first.
Hi, my name is Sammy Agus, and I'm a Sharon High School student. I'm a junior right now, and I'm a co-president of the Brighten Up Club. Aidan?
Yeah,
Financial literacy. And you, Aidan?
Yeah, I'm also a co-president, and we run a financial literacy club for people. Most people are in our grade, they're juniors, but we also have a few sophomores who joined because we started with 8 members and now we have 15. So our club's growing.
And the name of the club is Brighten Up. And
Yeah.
Another student years ago, another follower of ours, an intern at the time, Roberta, remember how we got the name Brighten Up?
Yeah, the fellow won a contest. We had a logo contest. I forget his name right now. God, do you remember his name? He was great. This was years ago, but he won the contest, and the mother said it like changed his whole life. And I think he probably graduated college by now, but he did a logo for us. And then we had a graphic artist made the little light bulb. And if anybody goes to the Sharon adult community, they have that logo, and that's their logo now years later. I mean, it's just a little light bulb. In other words, brighten up financial literacy. And what these kids have done that nobody else has ever done before. Do you want to tell them about how the adult education community?
Yes, absolutely. So what happened is years ago, there was a precursor of Brighten Up Club at Sharon High School. And Sam's older brother, Eli, was a co-founder, I believe, Roberta, of that one.
Yeah, I think there were 3 of them then.
Yes. And the purpose of the club, even then and now, is to help young people, students and other young people, to become more familiar with financial literacy issues, because a lot of people go through school and they don't know anything about it. Maybe their parents have been paying the way, maybe even paying the way to college, and they have no sense of what it really involves to be on your own and be responsible for your own finances. So the club sort of dissolved a little bit when Eli and his co-sponsors,
Ty Goldstein and I forget the other fellow. Brady Buckman.
That's right. Yes. So that sort of subsided, but then this past year, I should say 2020, Sammy and Aidan approached us. They had already been helping us out a great deal with the Law, Your Money, and You. And they said, you know what, we want to start a Brighten Up Club or rekindle this Brighten Up Club. and we were thrilled. Roberta and I sponsored this Brighten Up Club, but the issue was for this past year that school financial resources are limited because of COVID. The clubs don't meet in person in many cases. So the bottom line was they weren't able to really sponsor this program again. Maybe in the future, once things are back to normal, they will. So what we did is we approached the adult education, the community education here in Sharon.
Yeah, but
And-
why? Let them tell you first, what happened up to that point? Like, how many times did they say to you, well, it'll be next week, next week, next
Well, yeah,
week?
so we applied for the club and the vice principal said it'd be all fine. And then a few weeks later, we kept asking them and it took a while eventually, but they said that it got denied. So then we took that route to adult education.
But you boys still had meetings.
Yeah, we
Because
still in the
I-
meeting, but it wasn't
They
approved.
thought they would just go away, you know,
Yeah.
right off in the sunset and forget about it. But their parents too were helpful. They did have a lot of help. So go ahead, Camille, pick it up.
Yes, so we help connect the dots, so to speak, between these two young men and Sharon Community Education. And lo and behold, Brighten Up is now running on the Sharon Community Education platform, even though the school wasn't able to support it this year. And the Sharon Community Education Director told me just earlier today that the response has been so overwhelming that they didn't even see a need to put it in their advertising book for the spring because it's been so overwhelming. And we're happy about that. And would like to hear more from you, the inside scoop of what's actually been going on and what kind of enthusiasm and interest you've gotten from other students.
And what your meetings are like, just go
So in
for
our
it.
meetings, we usually plan beforehand with the slideshow where we have a topic, like it could be anywhere from like financial planning to budgets or debit cards. And we'll make a slideshow that basically overviews of the topic and we teach them a little bit about it. And then we always end off with a game to teach them a little more.
And recently, we've had a great opportunity in hosting some people who help with a bunch of stuff like college planning and financial planning. And we've had Stan Ezekiel and Cliff Kaplan on our show, and we have them talk with our students, and students can ask questions or anything, and it's just like a really helpful panel.
Yeah,
And
and
the students were really interested in the topics and they participated?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a bunch
those
of
same,
questions.
those same people have been guests on our show and have supported us from the beginning before they had these credit for life fairs. So we got a nice place to draw on. Have any of the students ever said that they almost got scammed or, you know, or good stories, any interesting stories?
I mean, I've heard that from people, but not really inside the club. I haven't heard that. I bet they have, but I haven't heard that.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten from the other students? What do you think that they're most excited about learning as they participate?
They really like the guest speakers went really well, and they also just, since like there's never been an opportunity in school to really learn about financial literacy, so they feel like it's a great club just for them to come for every Wednesday to learn about it.
Wow.
Do you have girls in the club too?
Yeah,
How many, what's the breakup on the girls to
I
guys?
could check right now.
It's what?
I could check right now. I think it's
Oh.
like half and half or somewhere around there.
Oh, isn't that good? Who asks more questions, the girls or the guys?
I don't know. It's the same.
Wow. And what do you think that so far, how do you think people feel about what they've accomplished or what they gained so far? And what more are they interested in hearing about?
Yeah, people are they feel like they're learning a lot more because they don't learn this stuff in school. And even though it's useful information, I feel like all kids should learn it. And they just feel like they're more responsible now with their finances, and they actually know a bit more about like how to handle themselves once they get out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of scams going around. There's like, there's new scams every day. And with each incident that happens in our lives, like this virus one, so you got more scams coming out. For instance, and you ought to tell them about this. I get things from Section 8 maybe 3 times a day. Now, Section 8 is a federal program where you can get money, but I've never applied for it. But apparently, in fact, one person, this is good to take back to your club there, but one person we know, they were on unemployment. The unemployment stopped because there was so much fraud. And I think, which part of it can affect the teenagers too. But there was the funny thing is Rhode Island, their schools have a lot of financial literacy classes, and they have a policeman that regularly goes. In fact, I think we're lining up a policeman for you guys, because there's scams. But I don't know if there's more scams for teenagers. Like, has anybody ever approached you to use your debit card?
Yeah, I get a lot of calls about like car insurance and stuff like that, like almost daily.
Really?
Yeah.
I get the letters on the car warranties. Your warranty is run out. So,
Yeah.
so what you do is you say to them, well, which car? And then they go, well, which cars do you have? And then you know that it's a phony.
Yeah.
But a lot of people fall for it.
What are some of the other topics you guys are planning, or other people have said they're interested in knowing more about?
We have a list of topics that we're just crossing off right now, and at the end of every meeting we ask everyone if they have like any ideas, and we've added like a few topics because of them.
Oh, give us an idea of some of them so we can look. We have somebody, in fact, you know, Camille does, Camille, tell them what you do. Camille's planning on one of your April meetings, but she has this model, which is just so fascinating.
Yeah, so
Call her all the time.
I'm going to be running a one-night class for Sharon Community Ed, and it's called Simplify Your Finances. And what it is, it's not like a deep dive in any of the topics like you guys do when you have your meetings. You focus on a topic. This is a broader view. It's taking all the different aspects of financial literacy. That would include budget. It would include insurance, college planning, retirement planning, all of those different pieces of the puzzle, and just explaining a little bit about each one and how they all fit together. Because financial literacy is not just about what most people think of as finances, meaning investments or savings and spending money. There's a lot more to it to have the complete picture of financial well-being. So this is going to be that type of an overview that's going to be offered through community ed. And we were thinking that we could do the same thing with one of your meetings too.
Yeah, it seems to be a good one. What are some of the topics that they asked for?
Yes, some of them wanted to know more about like getting prepared for college, because a bunch of them are juniors, and they also wanted to see a bit more about how debit cards and credit cards work, but because some of them don't really know the difference, and a lot of the vocabulary gets them tripped up, but it's important that they learn it.
Yeah, after we had Stan Ezekiel come in, a lot of people like realized that there's much more like about going to college than it's like not simple at all. So we decided to add that.
Good.
So there's a lot of questions after.
Debit cards and credit cards. You know, I remember when my kids went to college, this was before, I think the internet was just coming out, but the credit cards were just coming out. And when you walked in, there was credit card companies waiting to sign them up. And of course, when they sign up, they just spend the money. That's the problem with credit cards. You spend the money and you don't know you're spending it, and then the bill comes in and you go, oh my God. I remember one fellow, he said recently too, he said his sister dropped out for a year because her credit cards were so bad she had to work a year. to pay for them. I don't know if you know anybody like that, but you got to be careful.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
My granddaughter here, I helped her open up a bank account when she was like 13. And what she didn't realize was that, she figured, oh, we'll get a pizza for $5 or this or that. And she had her money in the savings pot. So there's a savings pot and a checking pot. I don't know if you know about this, but usually in your account, you might have a savings and a checking, and you keep it in the savings.
Yeah.
And then when you need the money, you put it into
Put
the
it checking.
to checking. But what a lot of banks do is they charge you for that quote transfer. They're transferring the money from one area of your account to another. So she used to buy the pizza for $5. They used to charge her like $7 for a transfer. Within 6 months, she had no money, and then she had bouncing, because they don't tell you, or they might tell you. But do you kids have a bank account with statements?
Yeah.
Do you ever look at your statements?
Yeah. I get like a letter like every month, I think.
Oh, you do? You should ask your folks if they look at their bank statements when they come in, because banks make mistakes because they have people that put these information in, and people, what do they say, to err is human? So there's some more tips. See, we never stop teaching here. But what's interesting is, where do you get your games from? Is there a special place that has games for you to play?
Sometimes we use some websites that are like, you fill in some information in this template and it kind of creates a game. Or sometimes we make our own, like for Jeopardy, we create our own little scoreboard and we use like a point system.
Yeah, we get a lot of the influence from like, we've done games in school like that, like learning games. So we do that. And some kids have given us some ideas.
That's fantastic. Now, these kids who joined, how did they hear about you?
Well, so when we first started the club, we posted on our social media, like how to join the Facebook group or whatever, and just what the club is. And then also Miss Gavin posted on Schoology on like the homepage and said, just talked about our club and that we're running it, and gave the link to the Facebook group. So we got a lot of kids off that too. And I'm sure from Sarah Norton.
Yeah, because when she posted that, all the students are able to see that, because it's like what students use to go to online school and stuff. So we basically had everybody in the school look at it, and we gained a lot of new members off of that.
So that good. I remember when the adult education wanted to take you on because the regular school ran out of funds. But I think Sammy's father offered to be your advisor, and I think that helped too. Plus, being part of the Lawyer Money and You. But so that's good. So you're up to 13, and don't stop there. Go more. Apparently, yeah. Sarah Norton is the director of the adult education community.
Up to 15 now, actually.
15.
15.
15. What did I say? 16?
15. Yeah, you said 13.
Oh, I said 13?
Yeah.
Oh, 15. Oh, that's even better than 13.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm just curious, some of the students that participate, do you have an idea of like, do their parents pay a lot of their way, like for things, or do you sense that some of them are sort of responsible for managing their own bank accounts and whatnot? Do you have any sense about that?
I feel like, I mean, some of them are our friends that we know, and I definitely know some people that do it more on their own, but I also know if like majority of them probably don't. We don't know all of them personally, so I can't really make that assumption.
Yeah, I'm just curious, you're talking about college, for instance, whether or not students in the club are going to be responsible to pay their own way or partially pay their own way, or their parents are going to pay their way.
Point. Yeah, because depending upon the kid, they may not care that the bank charges this or the bank charges that, because their parents will pay everything. Whereas another kid, if they have, something too, a lot of parents, they go, well, you're in college now, it's all yours, and we're walking away. Aidan, how is it in your house?
Well, we're looking at colleges right now, and we're gonna go through the application process over the summer.
But you have an older brother. Is your older brother responsible for his own money spending, or do your parents stick their nose in there? I mean, in a
Yeah,
good
he's
way.
kind of responsible himself. He has his like own apartment, and he goes to Boston University, so he's kind of on his own.
Right. Where does he live? I'm just curious, 'cause I went there too. I'm just curious where he lives. Do you
He
know?
lives in Brookline, which is like about 2 blocks away from where
Oh,
most of
yeah.
the classes
I
are.
went there.
I lived in Brookline my last 2 years too. Yeah.
Really? I commuted. I was one of the poor kids. I commuted. It was funny. But anyway, the Radio Shack used to be across the street from BU.
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember that.
I
Mhm.
had a job there. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
you
those
did?
are good memories. BU is really big now. My daughter went to BU too. Sammy, your brother goes to Northeastern, right?
Yeah, it's in like the same relative area.
Yeah, right. Two of my roommates were from Northeastern and the other two of us were from BU, and we lived close enough to both.
Oh,
Yeah, my daughter lived in where did she live? Brookline or somewhere else. Sammy, what's it gonna be like when you get there? Is your mother gonna say, hey, you're on your own now? Or I mean, I know both your parents will still help you, but I mean, they're gonna say, well, you should be responsible.
yeah, I feel like it'll be more responsible of me. Yeah, I don't really know yet. I mean, I feel like it'll be good for me to do that on my own to get a head start, you know.
How about some of the other kids in the class? Like you said, they're worried about the colleges. Are there any of them who say, well, I'm not worried about the money at all?
I mean, they haven't told us that.
You ever, I'm wondering, do you ever give them a form and say, I think if you could all fill this out, you don't have to sign your name, but we want to take a survey.
Yeah, we could do that, especially
Maybe.
for the next club. Like at the beginning, just tell people that we have a link for an anonymous survey, and they can fill out like how responsible they are with themselves, or if their parents manage like some of their funds.
That would be interesting. Wouldn't it, Camille, too?
It would, yes.
See how much you know what you kids kind of lost out on in your junior year. They started doing credit for life fairs.
The financial reality fair,
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah, they call it financial reality. Although I don't know, it's just a little reality. They're probably getting more from you than from the financial reality fair. The financial reality fair more or less gives you gives you a list of what you will need. It's supposed to be when you get out of college. And so now you're out of college, you pick a career. I wonder if they could do that. I wonder if you could do that in your group. We'll get you a sample. In other words, you're out of college, you have a job, you're making so much. Where are you gonna live? Are you gonna share an apartment? Are you gonna be on your own? Do you need a car? What kind of car are you gonna get? So what happens is you have all this information and then you go back. Remember, Camille, the reality check? Somebody checks the reality and you go, hey, you're making you spend $5,000 more a month than you make. You're never gonna make it on that. You gotta go back and cut some of these costs. So so I mean it's funny how some them have a Ferrari, they have this, they have that. And then also too that some people at the schools, is anybody are they going back to school now? In Sharon?
Well, it's hybrid right now. So, like for me, my last name's A, starts with A, so I'm cohort A, and there's cohort B and D, and cohort A goes to school Monday, Tuesday, and it's online Wednesday through Friday. And then cohort B, like Aidan, is in school Thursday, Friday, and online Monday through Wednesday.
Hey, a good way to get you to go together is change your last name, Aidan.
Yeah,
I just add an A in front of it. Tell them they got it wrong. They won't know the difference. What about honors classes? What are you doing for that? I mean, do they have them anymore?
Yeah,
Honors classes.
they've got a bunch of honors and AP classes, even some accelerated classes too.
That's
What's the difference
amazing.
between the honors and the accelerated?
Well,
Yeah, I never heard of it.
like it's basically counted as a standard class in terms of like how colleges view it, but it depends on how your guidance counselor tries to like argue for it. Like if it's a class that's hard, she'll probably tell the colleges how like difficult it is and how it should be counted as an honors.
Oh.
That's
mhm.
interesting. I always say though, you, especially in the East, where my grandchildren are in Arizona, and Arizona starts earlier. Like when you start applying for colleges, they've already pretty much already applied and heard back. That's why you got to start early. And also don't rely on anybody else to do it for you. Like, although your guidance counselors, they're there to guide you, they're not there to do it. In the end, you got to do it yourself. So make sure you mail it out. Don't let somebody else mail it out, because I've seen that happen too. But I mean, I think that's good. I think we gave you a few new ideas. I think that's good. We're so happy with what you're doing. You know, we're almost out of time, believe it or not. And but I think it's great what you're doing. I think you should pass around a questionnaire, and we'll get some more kids for you. Give me a list of who you need and what you need. There's supposed to be a policeman coming soon, but I also have, I wonder, would they be interested in real estate? Yeah, they probably would be, like real estate. That's
Yeah, anything related to that, because they're not like just limited to learning about financial literacy. They're like interested in other stuff and about like their futures, and maybe some of them could go into real estate.
I would
Mm,
say that the kids in your group have more on the ball than others because they're interested in bettering themselves and defending themselves, really, defending themselves, financial literacy. Camille, is there anything is there anything you want to last say, boys? Because we got to wind up.
we have to wind up. All right, that went by fast. Hmm.
Ryan of the TV station says we have to wind up.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Before this-
No, I think that's it.
Well, it's been great. Just having this little bit of time has really allowed us to appreciate what you've really done. And I have to wonder whether any other place in the country has students doing this.
Mhm.
Well,
I
they
really-
definitely don't out this end of the country. They,
Yeah.
they don't, they don't have, I can tell you right now, they have nothing. Nothing. They're lucky that they're back in school. I think a lot of places are going back in school after spring vacation. Did you guys have your spring vacation yet?
But we just had February break, and we're gonna have another break around
Oh.
like the middle of April. And
Okay,
we
because
don't know.
yeah,
We don't know if they'll
they got one now, but there's a lot of the funny thing is, I know Rhode Island has it. What would be good is maybe you could take your experiences and impress upon the school that they should offer at least one course on financial literacy. I mean, because that's living.
Yeah.
That's living. They have and this is Rhode Island. Rhode Island, there's a policeman that goes around to the different classes and tell them, watch out, especially where the debit cards. He says there are people that are trying to say to like young fellows like yourself is, hey, you want to make some money? Let me use your debit card, or get other people to let you use your debit cards. And it's a scam. There's so many scams going out there
Yeah.
that it's unbelievable. But you're both fortunate. You've got good families, good parents, and you're ahead of the game. What an inspiration. Pretty soon you'll go around, you could be speakers.
Yeah, I bet. I can see
Yeah.
that in your future. Well, thank you so much, guys. It's been great to talk with you. Um, I'm really proud and really impressed of what you're doing. And I know Roberta is too. And to our viewers, if you have an interest, or if you have a child who's in high school, even out of high school, who might be interested in participating, it's a great resource. And we encourage you to let us know, and we'll hook you up with Sammy and Aidan.
Camille
Thank you for
finding out.
watching. To our audience, thank you for watching. We hope to hear from you, because remember, this is your show, the law, your money, and
And
you.
you, and you, and you, and you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you both.
Yeah.